inclusive development, working to empower women, strengthen communities, and promote equitable economic and governance systems across the continent. Making trade work for women is an ambitious project that is led by CECI and TradeMart Africa, funded by the Global Affairs Canada, and it's not just about trade. It's about economic empowerment, gender equity, and ensuring that these women entrepreneurs fully benefit from the opportunity of Africa. We all know that trade is a powerful driver in development. When women traders in West Africa continue to face systemic barriers in terms of limited access to market, financial inclusion, and also gender-based bias at border crossing. And what we think is it must change. Into this project, we want to change that. We want to support these women entrepreneurs across 6 countries. We are committed to creating a safer, more inclusive, and more sustainable trading environment. This Making Trade Work for Women initiative is more than just an economic program. It's a transformational movement. It brings together government, regional economic bodies, civil societies, and of course, all women networks to reshape the trade landscape for women in West Africa. We are really grateful to Global Affairs Canada for its leadership, to our official and implementing partners who are dedicated to making this vision a reality. But most importantly, the success will be driven by the determination of the women entrepreneurs. Today is the beginning of a nice journey. We strive for a future where women can trade freely, safely, and equitably across borders. Thank you so much.
Africa Board Chair, David Bier, CEO TradeMart Africa, Kumba Anuma, Regional Director Africa CECI, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. We recognize that the complexities of cross-border trade deter vulnerable populations from trading through formal systems. We appreciate that women traders face additional challenges, including limited access to finance, markets, business networks, as well as the burden of care work, paid and unpaid. With an expected reach of over 100,000 beneficiaries, including youth and women traders, the project will contribute to increased trade values and employment opportunities and improve supply chains and trading environment for traders. Promoting and supporting inclusive trade is a priority for Canada, both domestically and internationally, including supporting efforts to ensure that benefits and opportunities are widely shared, including with women, youth, and marginalized groups. At the global level, we also support this work at the WTO, G20, and OECD. At the WTO, for example, we lead efforts to adopt a joint declaration in trade of women's economic empowerment and the establishment of an informal working group on trade and women's economic empowerment. Our partners to improve the business environment, support skills development and financial inclusion, and remove barriers that prevent women-led SMEs, agribusinesses, and green entrepreneurs from reaching their full potential in the Ghanaian market and regional markets. 2 weeks ago, on March 6th, Canada launched an Africa strategy with a principal objective of driving economic prosperity, security, and fairness for both Africans and Canadians. This strategy aligned with the AU's Agenda 2063, the Africa we want, and will guide Canada's work, including efforts to increase mutually beneficial economic opportunity, job creation, and infrastructure development. We believe that this project will play a key role in overcoming hurdles to trade, especially for SMEs, youth and women traders, thereby unlocking markets and creating jobs. I am honored to be at this launch of the Making Trade Work for Women in West Africa project on behalf of the Government of Canada. We are proud to be partnering with CECI, Trademark Africa, the AFCFTA Secretariat, and ECOWAS Secretariat to implement this project across 6 countries in West Africa: Burkina Faso, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Togo, Benin, and Nigeria. The project aims to support efforts to ensure equitable access to trading opportunities by addressing gender-based constraints that prevent women from benefiting from the full potential of trade under the AFCFTA. So with that, we look forward to working with all of you. Thank you. Meda Ase. Merci.
Our price can only be heard of the following. Support us at the borders. Support us to implement the good policies. We have Trademark and can help us. We hope Trademark can help us. And our sisters in Kenya and Uganda told us we can help Africa grow peacefully if Trademark can help us to implement policies that can help women trade, and so that at the end of the day we can also get something to support our family and also help the nation as a whole.
And this is not just their problems, it is a trade problem, as it shows a slowdown in economies, increases costs, and limits growth. That's why making trade work for women in West Africa is a practical solution to a real economic problem we face in our region. The initiative will directly support, as reported, 80,000 traders. 70% of them are women across 6 countries. And we know that what works in our continent. The AFCFTA protocol on women and youth in trade adopted last year was a major step forward. And I appreciate Trademark Africa for supporting this process to a fruition. Among its commitments is the requirement for government to simply trade procedures for small-scale traders, making it easier for women to formalize their businesses. It also calls for the removal of discriminatory barriers that restrict women's access to markets. But good policies do not mean much if they do not translate into better business conditions on the ground. This is where government, the private sector, and regional bodies like ECOWAS and AFCFTA in our continent must step up and work together and stop squabbling. The regulations must reflect the realities. Financing must be accessible, and businesses must stop seeing women as sectors because they indeed are the economy. Before I close, there is another issue we need to talk about: the lack of up-to-date data on economic impact of gender disparities.
Tangible are commitments to women traders in West Africa. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, behold the official identity of making trade work for women in West Africa. Your Excellency, officially declare this program